Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, heavyweight news make me think of you two. With or without you. Remember that? That was a jam back in the day. With or without you. Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion, WBC style, linear champion. Don't even try. Got Ring Magazine champion, which we don't care about around here. But hey, it meant something before they did the racist emails. It was the boxing Bible, right? When you find out the Bible is in there lying, then you ain't with it no more, right? So we found out the boxing Bible is racist. So they I don't give a damn what they say anymore at all until they say something about them racist emails, and that's been 2.5 years ago. So they ain't gonna never say nothing about them, and I ain't gonna never do. They never get no love here or respect because you are gonna have to denounce some racist emails. You see what I'm saying? But whatever. Tyson Fury got all that. He's linear. He beat Vladimir Klitschko before he went and sat on the couch and got fat, right? But he beat Vladimir Klitschko. And what was awesome about his win against Vladimir Klitschko was he only landed 83 punches. That's the least amount of punches in a 12-round championship fight in heavyweight division. 83 punches. Key to that was Vladimir Klitschko landed 50. So he feinted his way, punked him out during the run up to the build up to the fight, punked Vladimir out, didn't let him have control of every damn thing, and then stood up there with 6'9", 270 pounds and feinted him. Made Vladimir Klitschko not let his hands go. Immaculate performance from Tyson Fury. Right? That was awesome. Even though it was boring and whatever, but when it's boring, I really get into that because the magnitude of the fight is also makes it not so boring. Right? But I mean, it wasn't that much action. Right, but whatever, and it was called the most boring heavyweight fight ever, a championship fight. But he had to do what he had to do to get that W, right? So Tyson Fury, right now, lately, he's beat that Deontay Wilder after that. So when nobody was beating Deontay Wilder's undefeated. Tyson Fury had two good fights with Deontay Wilder, beat him up and won, and they say he outpointed him in the other one, but got a draw. I don't agree with that. Deontay Wilder should have won the first fight. As the champion, knocking somebody down two times, I'm looking better than you after the fight. You remember how long Tyson Fury's face was lumped up after that first fight? Nobody pays attention. Don't matter. For me, there it's 1-1, and there's some question marks there. But we ain't going. We're gonna try to stay away from the question marks this time. I just might have to mention them one time. We're gonna stay away from. Right now, Tyson Fury is the champion. Tyson Fury's like, listen here, okay, because that fight we supposed to have on December the 19th, he's hearing, just like we are, that the fight ain't going to happen on December the 19th. They got to move it to another date. There's too much football going on, college and pro football at that time. They're not going to have it. That'll be too much. So they're going to move the date somewhere. Whatever. Tyson Fury got wind of this. Said, hey, you know what? Damn Deontay Wilder and all that. I want to fight 2020 no matter what. He done hollered at your boy Anthony Joshua, trying to make him stop the Kubrat Pulev fight to fight him in December. So we don't really know what's going on. The thing though is this: Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder basically got him up off the couch, right? Told him you can get fit, you can fight me. He had two fights, remember those fights against those dudes? I forget the names and whatever. Right, he fought a couple of guys, the left-hander from Poland. I forget the name, but whatever. He had two pretty easy fights. Then it was Deontay Wilder. Did a decent job against Deontay Wilder in the first fight. After that, the rematch was supposed to happen right away. People forget this. Deontay Wilder was ready for the rematch to happen right away. Tyson Fury didn't do what was in the contract and signed with Bob Arum for a stateside, business. And then he fought two guys, Otto Wilder and Tom Schwartz, and had Deontay Wilder over there waiting. Deontay Wilder didn't wait. And think about these are the two guys Deontay Wilder fought while he was waiting on Tyson Fury. Dominic Brazil, which I like to see Dominic Brazil versus Tyson Fury, and Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. And let me repeat, I like to see Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz against Tyson Fury. Either one of them. Those are the two guys he fought while he was waiting on somebody who had a contract to fight him right away. Instead of complaining like, I ain't fighting you no more. I'm the champ. Forget you. I got the belt. Didn't do that. I want to prove that I could beat you better. Didn't happen. But those are the kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, instead of waiting for Deontay Wilder now, Tyson Fury's like, man, I ain't waiting. We're going to fight somebody. I ain't waiting until 2021. Now we got the pandemic. Things are going on. People are getting anxious or whatever. But he ain't waiting, right? So whatever. Let's just see how that turns out. I just thought it was pretty significant because you got to make sure this is clear. Deontay Wilder, neither him, neither him or his team are doing the talking. It ain't like you heard Shelly Finkel talking about we got to move the date. This is Tyson Fury's people. This is Tyson Fury's. Bob Arum is the one talking about moving the date. This is Bob Arum talking. That's Tyson Fury's co-promoter, stateside promoter. Frank Warren is UK and Europe promoter, right? So that's his people. So this is why I wouldn't be good at this, YouTube thing, right? It's just I come on here, I see some stuff that's injustice, and I might talk about it. And I got to get back to my other sport. I've been hanging on boxing a little bit too much. It's ridiculous. But just so much the people, so much stuff going on that you want to talk about it that's not real and unjust. But I don't do social media, right? There's enough following people from what we got. We don't need no social media. That's me. I've been around a long time, so I don't agree with that. I just think when I see people talking over social media to someone else, then for me it just turns me off. I don't really want to hear it because you would talk to that person, you would call them. It's still capable of calling. The iPhones, they do have that function. You can call on those too. You don't have to just make videos for other people to see what your reaction is or what you're telling someone else. That's why I didn't follow what my man here was talking to Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford, this little dude. I forget his name right now. It hit me. A great boxer, Gary Russell Jr. He was on social media talking to Devin Haney and his team and Terrence Crawford and all that. It's like, well, whatever with that, because that's what you're trying to do there is, hey, look how cool I sound talking to them. It's none of our damn business. We want to talk about when you're about to fight, not what you're feeling when you got up and ate, and then you're gonna talk to somebody when you could call them and say, "Look, Terrence, I want to beat your butt, Mr. Crawford." We ain't got to go on social media, and then we would hear about boom, the fight. But that's not all. So I don't do that. I ain't follow that because that's not tweets too. Everybody want to tweet something so it can look cool. Look what I said to this guy, or look how I felt. And then when they say something wrong, hey man, that's not my man. I don't even know who's running my Twitter account when it's something wrong, right? So that's why all of that to me is BS. I ain't got time for that, right? Because I already know what time it's gonna go. Plus, we looking too much down in our iPhones, just way too much to where our vertebrae is gonna go to the front. It already is with some of our youth. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Bottom line is, Tyson Fury, right, is the saying through social media somewhere that he ain't waiting, he don't want to wait if it's not going to be on December the 19th, right? So let's see what happens going forward. But I do think that Tyson Fury could just simply call his own manager or promoter, Bob Arum, and see what the hell is going on. And then media, and we wouldn't know nothing about it until we get some kind of something come out that's important. But every time someone has some kind of mood swing that we hearing it over social media, that's not worthy of headlines. Let's see what happens when they're going to fight or who Tyson Fury will fight in the interim if he doesn't get Deontay Wilder um, in 2021 sometime. Now, remember, for those with all them thumbs down, when I told you how I feel, I don't give a damn if Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder ever fight again. I want to know what happened on the night of the fight. I want to know what happened with Martin Carefoot, a 70-year-old guy who's talked about wild boar. I would like to see some closure in that and in Glove Gate to find out what really happened. Now, I'm not sweeping that under the rug and moving on because if that happened, somebody has to be brought to justice, right? The ones who made it up or the ones who did it, right? Something has to happen with Martin Carefoot. Either that's an old man and needs to take him to a psychiatric ward because he's made up something like that, or he's telling the truth, and that is pretty bad, right? That would be the case. Not sweeping under the rug and keep moving on. This ain't Trump here. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens with that. That's what my point is. So either we get a fight or we don't. Either Tyson Fury fights Deontay Wilder in December, or he doesn't, right? And he can move on to something else. But let's just see what happens. It was just interesting to me because I was thinking, well, Tyson Fury, this is your own promoter, Bob Arum, talking about what he's going to move the date here and there. So maybe you need to just give him simply a call and don't write nothing on social media. Call your own damn promoter and tell him, hey, I don't want to do that. And then we can get the information when you guys are finished talking instead of over some social media somewhere. Y'all following that? Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.